Now, moving along and still staying on the subject, standoff is looming between students and Fort Hare management. This as the Bisho High Court has granted the university an order to evict students from residence. The university will only evict the students on the condition that it provides them with alternative accommodation. Security has been tightened to avoid any outward incidents. Students on Buffalo City and Alice campuses say they will take university management to court. The students have been on stayaways since the first week of September, demanding a change of security company following a number of break-ins in residence. They also want a shuttle service to transport students after hours. University of Fort Hare spokesperson Khotso Maobi joins us on the line. Thank you very much, Khotso, for joining us this morning. Now, the situation at Fort Hare seems to also be intensifying. Could you please give us a brief rundown as to what is the status at the moment?
Well, the status at the moment is currently we are suspended academic activities. We expect to reopen the university academic activities next week, Tuesday.
Is this been confirmed with the students and the Vice-Chancellor, etc.? Or you're hoping that it will come back next week, Tuesday?
Yes, we are hoping that it will come back next week, Tuesday. That is the declaration management had made about 10 days ago to all within the university, that we would suspend activities until the 12th of October. Currently on campus, we are pretty much quiet, barring a number of students that have taken us to court, as you've mentioned now, and we've been granted the ability to remove students should they remain on campus until that point in time. We feel that very much that we want to ensure that we've got peace and security on campus. So we will do that in a humane way and make sure that we do follow the court request in terms of making sure that we find alternative assistance for the students that are still on campus.
Well, thank you very much. That was Khotso Maobi, who is the spokesperson for Fort Hare. Now, University of Fort Hare SRC President Luxolo Ngqala joins us on the line. Thank you very much for joining us, Luxolo. Now, it seems you coming from the student side. What are the the students saying at this point after being evicted by the court order there by the university?
I think what Khotso is not telling you is that they are not actually adhering even to the conditions of the court eviction.
How so?
Look, what was expected was that if the university decides to evict students, there should be actually an engagement between SRC and management on how the eviction must be carried out, the conditions that there must be reasonable measures in place for students. There are students who will be accommodationless whilst they are evicted. So what the university is doing continues to harass students by writing emails to students on a personal basis without any prior engagement with SRC and understanding. I am very, very shocked to hear Mr. Moabi saying for the safety of students and so forth. No, it's such a sweet rhetoric that actually has no truth in it. They continue to harass students. They have absolutely no regard of the law, no regard of the well-being of students. What they want to do is to frustrate the SRC, frustrate students, divide and rule. That is what is happening. There is no good faith in the university. There is no honesty. It continues to actually violate, and we are going to take it to court if need be once more.
But don't you feel that the Fort Hare committee is doing so to protect the premises of the property? As we've seen across the country, there's been a lot of violent outbreaks, and not just only towards property, but to students themselves.
No, look, at the university, there is peace, there is no violence. The SRC has managed to actually calm students, to preserve peace. There is no consolidation of masses that are even singing. People are in their own room. So what are you protecting us from? From sitting in our own rooms, So we cannot actually be referred to or to be compared with other institutions where there is violence because there are reasons and conditions of that particular institution. In our institution, it's peace and quiet, but our institution has forever wanted to deal with our grievances through the law. That has become the cadence of this institution. Whenever there are problems, because right now we should be sitting with management and see and address grievances of both campuses, both East London, your shuttle services, your indemnity fee, your fee waivers, your free education in Alice, your locking system, your triple P that is actually exploiting us. All those things, that's what we should be discussing, not discussing law, because they're using law to actually camouflage the whole situation, which we are not going to allow that.
Now, what alternatives are the students going to take in terms of accommodation, etc.?
We do not know what are alternatives because it is the manager that must respond to that question through engagement with SRC. But what management is doing goes and writes to students one by one and actually wants students to submit themselves to management without any approved, reasonable in standard that is put in place, that is understood by the SRC, that is agreed upon. It's moving alone, even in this process, to ensure that it actually exploits and continues to harass students. That's our problem. They do not want to engage us in anything, even though the court made it clear that this process will be between SRC and management. But SRC has been sidelined, harassed itself by the university, actually told that it's in contempt of court, whilst the university itself is in contempt of court. That's the problem.
Well, thank you very much. That was SRC President Luxolo Ngqala, who is basically giving two sides of the story, saying that the university isn't upholding its parts of the court order.